Imagine a sport where the athletes didn't just compete, they survived. In the late 1960s and early 70s, Formula One wasn't just dangerous, it was a death sentence. The statistics were terrifying. If you drove for 5 seasons, you had a 1 in 3 chance of being killed in a race car. Before every Grand Prix, drivers wouldn't just check their tires, they would look at each other, wondering who wouldn't be at dinner that evening. They were the knights of asphalt, driving at 180 miles per hour, knowing that the slightest mistake meant the end. The cars were beautiful, cigar-shaped sculptures, but they were effectively rolling bombs. To save weight, the chassis was often made of magnesium, a metal that burns white-hot and cannot be extinguished with water. The drivers sat surrounded by fuel tanks filled with hundreds of liters of high-octane gasoline right next to their legs. And the most shocking fact, for a long time, many drivers refused to wear seatbelts. They believed it was better to be thrown out of the car and break a bone rather than be trapped inside a burning wreck. It was a choice between a quick death or a slow one. The circuits were medieval. There were no runoff areas, no tire barriers, no medical helicopters. If you went off the track, you hit a tree, a telegraph pole, or a stone wall. At the Nürburgring, the ambulance could take 20 minutes to reach a crashed driver. In some races, the only protection between a 400-horsepower car and the crowd were bales of straw. When hit, these straw bales didn't stop the car. They exploded into flames, turning a crash into an inferno. It was madness, accepted as the price of glory. This era bred a specific type of human, men like James Hunt, who lived every day as if it were his last, partying and drinking because he knew Sunday might be the end. Men like Jackie Stewart, who started taping a wrench to his steering wheel so he could dismantle it himself if he got trapped in a crash. And men like Niki Lauda, who looked death in the face in 1976, burned alive for nearly a minute, and then returned to the cockpit 40 days later. They weren't just athletes, they were gladiators who accepted that the sport demanded a blood sacrifice. Today, Formula One is one of the safest sports in the world. We have the halo, carbon fiber monocoques, and instant medical response. But we must never forget the suicide era. The safety we have today is written in the blood of those who didn't make it home. Jochen Rindt, François Sévère, Roger Williamson. They pushed the limits of physics in machines made of foil and courage. It was the most dangerous time in motorsport history. It was beautiful, it was brutal, and we will never see anything like it again.